name is Mrs. Beach. I'm the Youth First Social Worker at West Elementary, but today I'm here to talk to all of you. We are going to talk about Why Try. Why Try is a group that we do starting in kindergarten going all the way up to 8th grade. Why Try focuses on resiliency, growth mindset, decision making, and goal making. So some really important things. We are going to go through each lesson together. During the lessons, I would really like to encourage you to pause the video at any time to have conversations with your child or as a family about some of the questions that I may ask. Also, in some of the videos, we will do activities together as I would do them in a group setting. But for some of them, the activities will be linked so that you and your family can do them on your own time. Thank you. Enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to your next Why Try video. Today's video is called Climbing Out, and it is going to focus on friendships and the kind of friendships that we want to have in our lives. Let's go over a few vocab words before we get started. The first word is friends. Friends are those people that we surround ourselves with. I'm not going to go into good friends or bad friends right now because really, friends as a term is just the people that we like to be around. So we play with them at recess, we sit with them at lunch, maybe we have extracurriculars with them. Those are our friends. The next is peer pressure. We've all heard about peer pressure. Schools do a lot of things around bullying and being a positive influence, and part of that is peer pressure, right? Going along with what our friends want us to do, even when we know that maybe it's not the best thing. So something that someone is trying to pressure you into doing, that's peer pressure. It doesn't have to be negative though. Sometimes our friends push us to do things like face our fears in a really positive way, and they would be a positive influence. That's our next term. So like I said, a positive influence is somebody who they make good choices and they do things to lift you up and to be a good role model for you. The next phrase is negative influence, and it's just the opposite. We also sometimes have people in our lives that do things that aren't the best. They don't make the best choices. Or sometimes they try to get you to do things that you know is not right, that you might get in trouble for, or it's not very kind. And so those people would be negative influences in our life. To get started, we are going to look at the graphic to the left, and you will see a pot with some crabs in it. Has anybody ever cooked crabs? Well, we won't get into the details about it, but I will tell you that when you're cooking crabs, they try to climb out of the pot. So when you look at this picture, that's what's happening here. So you'll see there are 4 crabs in this pot, and one of them, he is almost out. So take a second and look at this pot and talk with your family about what do you think is happening in this picture. What did you guys decide on? Whenever I look at this picture, it looks to me like that one crab that is almost out. He is working so hard to pull himself out. And I want to say that that crab underneath him is helping him, boost him up. But I think that we can all agree that that's not what's happening there. That crab is pulling him back down. He's pulling him back into that pot. So we're going to use this picture to talk about our friends and what kind of friends do we have. Do we have the kind of friends that whenever we're trying to do something or better ourselves, they pull us down? Or do we have a friend that's going to push us back up? One way to look at this, guys, is that sometimes it's a lot easier to pull people down, right? We get stuck in these negative headspaces. So think about a box of blocks. It's kind of heavy. Is that easier for you to pull that down off of a table, or is it easier for you to pick that box up and lift it up onto the table? It's a lot easier to pull things down, isn't it? And sometimes we do that, or our friends do that too. So it's really important for us to focus on having friends that are going to lift us up, even though that's sometimes not the easy thing to do. And to know with yourself, are you being someone who's lifting someone up, or are you pulling them down? A really good example of when it's easiest for us to pull people down, I think, is when we are jealous. So maybe somebody has an opportunity or they got an award, or your teacher has called them out for their good work, and you're feeling kind of left out or sad or jealous about the good things that they've had. So instead of being like, yeah, I'm super proud of you, you're great at that, that's one of your strengths, it's so much easier to kind of roll our eyes and be like, ugh, you're okay at it, I guess. Or to make fun of it, like you think that maybe it's a stupid thing to want to do or something that you don't think they should be putting their time into, and you don't necessarily believe that. Really, you're just feeling jealous and hurt. So it's a really important thing to notice when you're doing that, because I think that everybody does that sometimes, but we need to be able to go back to that friend and apologize to them and say, I'm sorry that I wasn't supportive of the things that you achieved. I was feeling left out, or I was maybe feeling like I wasn't good enough. And I will work really hard not to do that again in the future, and I want you to know that I'm really proud of you. Guys, it sounds easy to do when I'm just standing here talking to you, but in that moment, that can be a really hard thing to kind of swallow your pride and go back to somebody that maybe you weren't very kind to. But on the other side of that, you need to make sure that you have friends that are lifting you up too. So what are some of those goals that you guys have talked about as a family so far that you have? Let's take a second and review those. What are some of the goals that you've set? Now I want you to think about the friends that you have, and if you told them, I've set a goal to do this, are they going to help you? Are they going to be somebody that's pushing you up or trying to pull you up out of that pot? Or are they going to be somebody that's like, oh, why would you set a goal to do that? I think that you can probably identify in your people in your life that would be on both sides of that. I think most of us probably can. So it's important to realize that maybe we have these friends that are pulling us down or holding us back or trying to get us to do things that don't align with who we are or the kind of person that we want to be. And it's okay if you have people in your life like that. And it's okay for you to let them know that you don't feel very supported by them, because communication is so important. And maybe you can help them see that some of the choices that they're making or the things that they're saying are hurtful to themselves and to others. So it gives you an opportunity to be a good friend and help teach them and guide them. And that's really important. It's hard to do sometimes. It's not an easy conversation to have, but I think you feel a lot better after you did. It's also important to thank those friends that you know are pulling you up and that are really cheering for you and trying to help you reach your goals. Sometimes that's friends. Sometimes it can be a brother or a sister or a parent. And it's important to let them know, like, I noticed that when I was having a hard time, you kept pushing me and cheering me on. You were helping lift me out of that pot. So thank them for that. Everybody likes to be thanked for the effort that they do, even your moms and dads. So make sure that you're reaching out to the people around you and letting them know how much you appreciate all that they're doing for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you would like to do some follow-up activities, there will be some activities linked below. Thanks!